Please join me in welcoming our first senior speaker, Samantha Gordon.
Does everyone remember when everything changed? As time passed, my bike became a car. My identity crisis used to be an annual occurrence, a debate of being a witch or a ninja for Halloween. Inside jokes with friends were not innuendo of any sort. Pain was felt in my skin knees from tripping over nothing on the concrete, not my heart. My definition of forever conflicted with that in the dictionary, as my supposed BFFs all drifted apart. My goodbyes used to actually mean see you tomorrow. 13 years ago at Witherspoon Soccer Fields, my sister, grandmother, aunt, and I all rolled down the giant hill sat behind the soccer goal. We didn't think of the consequences of rolling down, the itching skin, the feeling of imaginary bugs crawling up and down your arms and legs. But as I've grown older, I've learned to never dive blindly and to be prepared for what comes next, because not everything can be fixed with a shower and new clothes. I discovered my fear of heights as I grew more conscious of my surroundings. It began when I was in kindergarten with a giant metal slide in the middle of the playground. After waiting what felt like forever, I would finally climb to the top of the ladder. To anyone else, this feels like the top of the world, right? The perfect breeze, the perfect view of the whole playground. However, that was not the case with me. Looking down the slide to where my 2-second joyride would lead me seemed to kick my fight or flight response in the high gear. My response, however, was to seize the sides of the slide. While our fears are part of life, we must learn to acknowledge them and face them head on. To understand that you yourself are human is to acknowledge that only you can stop yourself from growing as an individual. I think it's funny how my joy was satisfied with simple things like jumping in puddles and finding worms on the ground after the rain, watching the snow fall from the comfort of a warm house, sitting on the shoulders of my father, feeling the tallest it would have ever been. My joy is now found hidden in materialistic gifts, for instance, clothing and a new phone. However, I try not to blame myself for this. Well, for the most part. As we get older, everything begins to move faster. Taking time to sit and smell the roses is not something we make time to do for ourselves. Our lives are spent on a speed run of 13 or possibly more years through information not always retained nor useful to a job we hope to acquire in the future. While securing a perfect future should be everything we look for, we forget to look at the little things sometimes. At some point, those roses wither away with our youth, left for us to think about in our older years. We have to face it, growing up is not the grandest thing. To some of you, maybe, but sometimes I wish I can go back to chasing butterflies instead of due dates. But here we are. Life just happens. We grow up learning about the pros and cons and this unfortunate reality that nothing stays the same forever. And the more you look on your past, the less you look forward to your future. But reminiscing every once in a while isn't too bad sometimes. Our tiny stories are not meant to be forgotten, but not thought about so often we forget to create more as we grow.